everyone, I'm Kim Jacobs, host of The Kim Jacobs Show, where we're bringing balance to the world, one household at a time. Listen, we go live every weekday, Monday through Friday at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I bring guests on that talk about their backstories, things that they've had to overcome to become who they are today. Many of So because I think we have a lot of us on here, this is already going to be a fun roller coaster ride. So grab your virtual seat belts, snap yourself into place, because we have with us today CTR Media Network podcasters. Now, everybody give yourselves a round of applause, because we're going to have a great episode lined up for you. And actually, you know what I'm going to do, Anna? I'm going to put you above myself and hold you to a higher esteem. If I can swap us out, I want to hold all of my guests to a higher esteem than myself. And we're going to have a great episode for you. So grab your virtual seats. Let us know who you are in the studio audience as you're coming in. And we're going to get this show started. Dr. Tina Ramsey, look at God, how he didn't already use you to be a visionary to bring all of this goodness about. I'm excited. All right, everybody, we'll be right back. Hello, everyone. I'm Kim Jacobs, host of The Kim Jacobs Show, where we're bringing balance to the world, one household at a time. Listen, we go live every weekday, Monday through Friday at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I bring guests on that talk about their backstories, things that they've had to overcome to become who they are today. Many of them are balancing and juggling life, and they've become experts in different fields. So they're sharing tips with you to make your life just a little bit easier. Many times as a guest in the studio audience, you'll get a chance to walk away with a missing piece of the puzzle that might be missing in your life. Let's go on this journey together, and I look forward to seeing you Monday through Friday at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on The Kim Jacobs Show. Welcome back, and welcome to this episode of The Kim Jacobs Show. Dr. Tina Ramsey, I believe that God gave you a vision, and this vision is nothing short of extraordinary. And so I want everybody here today to just hear a little bit about you as the visionary behind CTR Media Network podcasters. And you are a two-time best-selling author, #1 podcast specialist and coach, certified homeschooling consultant, and sought-after international speaker, podcast coach, media relations specialist. That's why you have this vision, because God has gifted you to be able to have this organization and platform be in over 350 million global listeners in over 50 countries with an impact on positive content. Welcome, Dr. Tina Ramsey, to The Kim Jacobs Show.
Well, thank you so much for having me. This has indeed been a roller coaster, to say the least, but a good one. The simple answer for why I decided to start CTR Media Network is because I was sick and tired of being sick and tired. I saw so many amazing content creators, business owners, and that didn't have a voice. And so CTR Media Network is just a place for you to find positive resources, community, podcasters, educators, all in one spot, to give you that hope again, because the last 2 years have been very difficult for many of us. And this is to kickstart you to walk into your purpose. You can still dream. And I can't do this by myself. So God placed all these amazing content creators right in my lap. So I just thank him for that. And it started around the Tina Ramsey Show and podcast, because I'm a podcaster too. But then the vision got bigger, and it said, okay, this is outside of you. This is a mission to impact the world with positive content. And so that's how it started.
That is awesome. And so do you have like a hand-picked, how do you pick these wonderful women that are here today? And even I know it's some men involved as well. So how do you go about picking the type of people that would officially have a podcast on CTR Media Network?
Well, first of all, I pray about each person that I speak with. I personally speak to everybody that is on the platform, and I need to hear what their ground foundation is. And based upon that, like the content that we present for CTR Media Network is not exclusive, meaning that it's open to the general public because we want the public to see so that they can walk into their purpose and find whatever they need to find in order to navigate their life more positively. But the content creators is exclusive because we don't let everybody on the platform. If it has to be about positivity, it got to be about motivating. It has to be about bringing people together to bring them hope. So I know after I pray about something, he lets me know, okay, this is the person. This is a person. Now, do I understand how it's going to all work out? No, but as I see, he is the one that's navigating this. I'm just in the driver's. No. I'm in the passenger seat. No, in the back seat. He is navigating all of this, so I can't really take all the credit. It's really him navigating, and he's using me as the messenger, the spokesperson. And I'm glad, and I'm honored, and I'm sometimes like, why did you pick me? But I'm just like, at this time, I'm just so honored to be in position to be in the presence of all these amazing content creators.
Wow. And you know what? I feel like I'm amongst greatness as well here because each of you all have so much value that you're bringing to this earth. And we all do something different, and even if we're talking about the same topics sometimes, the beautiful part, in my opinion, about podcasting and having a show is that people will listen to other people differently than they listen to other people. So there's no competition. Some people are going to want to listen to you, Constance, Dr. Liddy, Dr. Connie, and you, Anna, and you, Dr. Tina, and Queen Candy, who's coming back in. Guess what? People want to hear all different types of contents, but sometimes they can only hear from certain people. Mm-hmm. And so that's a blessing that God has given all of us a voice here in the podcasting world. And thanks to you, Dr. Tina, for making that possible on CTR Media Network. All right, so I'm going to pull Queen Candy back in, and I know, Queen Candy, you are at work, and so I'm going to pop you up for a second in the middle here. I'm going to put you right in the middle. That's what I think I should do, so people know exactly. I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to put you over here front and center. Now, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to put you right over here, and I'm going to put you full speed ahead so people can see you. Hold up. Everybody just work with me for a minute, because we're going to make everybody have their moment to just really be able to shine here for a moment. Because these are podcast hosts that you want to know about. Now, Dr. Tina, that means I got to go back and shine the light on you full screen again. So get your mind right about what your next point might need to be, okay? I can't have one person shine and not have the visionary shine. So Queen Candy, how are you today?
Good. How's everybody doing? Thank you for having me on the show.
And see, that's a perfect example again. You see how smooth and sultry and soothing her voice is. Meanwhile, I'm over here screaming and hollering. Hey, how y'all doing? Like, we need Queen Candy, Kim. We don't need all that high-pitched talking you doing. So I am happy. I'm happy to have you here today. And Queen Candy, I know you were born in Georgia, grew up in Jacksonville, but you're a spoken word artist. And you've been writing since you were the age of 16. And I'm not going to go through your whole bio, but tell us about your podcast on CTR Media Network.
Yes, the name of my podcast is the Queen Candy Podcast, and been doing that for about 2 years. To celebrate our 2-year anniversary in October, on the 11th. And
But you have to use your cheerleading voice today, though, because I need you to talk a little bit louder for me. Come on.
Well, the purpose of our show, one of the main things we do, I am a Muslim woman, so I teach Islam on my show. I give my backstory of my upbringing, child abuse, foster care, mental illness, domestic violence, so on and so forth. And I also use my show as a platform to spread positivity, give encouragement, and to do my best to help our sisters. And, to be an example that you can, go through hell and you can still be beautiful and you can make it here today. So, you
Wow.
know, that's great. Connected with Tina on wisdom, and I really do thank her because she's helped my show and helped me to push myself to another level. So it's definitely been beautiful.
Wow. Excellent. And so now you're saying that a wide variety of women can tune into your show. They can learn about domestic violence, going through hell basically, and still getting out on the other side. And you're going to be teaching them this on your podcast. So let me make sure people know how they can stay connected with you, Queen Candy.
Yes, yes, yes,
You,
definitely. That's the goal for our show.
Excellent. And so when you say this yourself, are there some things that you had to personally overcome to make you feel so passionate about this particular topic that you wanted to have as a whole show to touch the nation?
Oh yeah. There's a lot of things I had to overcome. Not loving myself, abusing myself, going through homelessness, domestic violence, and just about everyone in my life has hurt me or, used me in some way, shape, or form. But through all that, I still made it here.
Wow.
And through all that, I also realized that you got a story to tell. Your
That is
life can be right. Your life can be an example or a testimony for somebody else that may be going through, a teenage girl or a young woman that's going through what you went through, and it may help them. I never know, but that's my ultimate goal. It's not really about money for me. That's gonna come, but it's about helping. Now that I know better, I feel like it's my mission to do better and to step up and be a leader now instead of a follower.
wow. That, you know what? I see a lot of different comments coming in already in the studio audience. And thank you all so much for being here today and just getting a taste already of Queen Candy's platform. If you all are dealing with domestic violence or you know people that are dealing with homelessness, and I had a gentleman on my show, Queen Candy, that just literally he was still homeless, but he made a way to be able to be on the show. And some people poured into some finances for me to be able to send to him. And I want people from all walks of life to grace this platform for that reason, because we all have a story to tell. We all have circumstances and situations that we have had to overcome. So I'm so excited about Queen Candy and your broadcast and how people can stay connected with you. One more time, I want to pop that up on Facebook. She's on Instagram, and you obviously know she has the Queen Candy podcast. So make sure you all stay connected with the Queen Candy, Candi podcast, and check her out. You're going to be seeing that right on CTR Media Network. Let's go to some of the studio audience comments. Mackenzie, if you could pop some of those up for me. I see quite a few that came in here. Let's see. Because if I go all the way through all of y'all, then the comments are going to be like, well, we were saying that to Queen Candy, Kim. Okay. Like, give me a second. We good. Marlene actually said, you know what? I think because it's the whole platform is so many people on, and then it's lagging or something. But anyway, amazing blessings. Marlene says, good morning to all of the podcasters. I see some laughs and some smiles. Laugh out loud. Cheerleading voice. That's funny. Boss Life says, you're funny. Okay. Boss Life. Marlene. People are just commenting to all of you. Robert, I see you. You all share the broadcast and let everybody know that we're talking today with CTR Media Podcasters, and they are on a national tour, and they just stopped by the Kim Jacobs show today. So it's only a few of them here today. We have a whole lot more that Dr. Tina Ramsey could tell you about. So right now, what we're going to do is we're going to take a quick commercial break, and we're going to get to come back and hear from Dr. Connie Green. Let me put you over there in the hot seat, Dr. Connie. And when we come back, we're going to get a chance to hear from you next. All right, we'll be right back, everyone, right after this commercial break. You're like, don't put me up front and center until you're ready, Kim, right? You're looking cute, though. Go to the commercial, Mackenzie. We're ready. I think it's like a little delay for whatever reason, but it's all good. We'll figure it out. So let's go to commercial right here.
It's not just another day. It's a brand new day. full of all the fun, love, and laughter you and your family create. Silver Shield Security understands feeling at home means feeling safe and happy. No credit checks, no contracts. We offer payment arrangements, and we'll even give you a free door camera. Find out how we can brighten your day even more at silvershield-security.com. Silver Shield Security.
Realized that my person that helped me backstage is not back there. So I said, oh, that's what's happening to me. Okay. All right. Dr. Connie Green, I'm so glad to have you with us today. And I want everyone to get a chance to hear about your podcast. Tell us a little bit about your podcast, Wisdom Tips with Dr. Connie Green.
Well, first of all, I'd like to thank you as well as Tina Ramsey for this opportunity to share about my broadcast today. And I'm so excited about all the amazing podcasts that are on. But the reason I started Wisdom Tips was to help amazing women and men survivors overcome life disappointments and childhood trauma. And I do that by teaching them the precepts and examples of wisdom, because wisdom is the principal thing, which simply means the first thing that we all need to know about and learn to navigate through this life. I grew up on welfare and a drug addicted, alcohol induced home where my father beat my mother on a regular basis. And in 60 seconds, my father killed my mother with a single gunshot wound to her stomach. And in 60 minutes, I lost my mother through death. I lost my father through prison. I lost all of my siblings, which was 5 of us, because we were split up to live with other family members. And because of that, I became depressed, an alcoholic, and I was suicidal. But by the power of God, he gave me grace and delivered me and gave me total deliverance. And I was able to forgive my father and all those that victimized me as a young child. So that's one of my stories. But now I serve.
Wait, let's stop for a second. Because when you say, I got to put us in a different view here. When you say that's one of your stories, that story alone, and everyone on the panel, I'm sure, can relate, that story alone is enough to make anybody give up in life, to call it quits. But you didn't call it quits. And you, like you said, your mom and your dad were lost in different capacities, but yet you still moved forward some kind of way. Can you tell everybody how you were able to do that? And I know it's not a full interview today. We're just hearing more about your podcast, but that will help people tune into Wisdom Tips with Dr. Connie Green. So how did you do that, Dr. Green?
A lot of prayer, a lot of crying, a lot of bitterness, anger, and rage. But through all of that, I had an aunt, and she went home to be with the Lord a few years ago that was a Christian. And she poured into me and told me not to give up, that I need to give my life to God. And at first I didn't listen to her. I just moved out of Charlotte to Atlanta with my husband because he attended law school. And while I was there, I was on a conclusion course, alcohol, drugs. After work, I would go to different places. But I met this young lady that worked with me, 19 years old, that poured into me and invited me to her church. She invited me to my church. I gave my life to the Lord Jesus Christ, and the rest is history. I was able then to bounce back because I had something to stand on. Although I lost my mother, my father, and my siblings, through the scriptures and through what she taught me on our lunch hour, we would have Bible studies. She taught me that God loves me more than anybody, and he died for me. And that just clicked in my little mind at that time, only 20-something years old. And my life has never been the same. And now my husband and I, we pastor a church in Charlotte, North Carolina for over 25 years. And we've been married for 47. I have a son that is the youth pastor. His name is Roger Green Jr. And my other son is Oliver Green. And I have a bonus daughter, Tracy. 6 grandchildren. I'm a serial entrepreneur, a Christian counselor certified and certified master coach. And I love God's people, and I love helping people and pulling them out of the darkness into God's marvelous life, because I know what it's like to have pain, disappointment, discouragement, betrayal, suicide tendencies,
Yes.
being raped, molested. But
God
is the secret, and he teaches us all about wisdom. So we need to have the wisdom to be able to navigate through this crazy life that we live in.
My
and
God.
we don't have to give up, and we don't have to die.
Now, people can tune in to your show. I want to make sure everybody knows, too, that you have a doctorate of psychology, a master's of Christian counseling, a bachelor's of biblical studies, ministerial training, and certified health and wellness coach. So when people tune in for these wisdom tips, they're going to be tuning into someone that knows exactly what you're talking about, from an educational, a personal journey, and all of that. So how can they stay connected with you right quick?
They can stay connected with me on all the platforms that are Facebook, Instagram. I also have a YouTube channel where I come in on Thursday evenings at 7:00 p.m. every Thursday, where I teach precepts and examples of how you can navigate through this life that we live in.
Wow.
And as well as I have a website, drconniegreen.com. And also they can also purchase some of my books. I have 2 books, When Love Hurts and When Love Heals. And the 3rd book will be out in November, When Love Heals, The Ugly Spirit of Jealousy.
When love heals, the ugly spirit of jealousy.
Spirit of jealousy that we've all experienced.
Wow. Wow, y'all. Stay connected with Dr. Connie Green. Check her out. Again, we are here on what we are calling the CTR Media Network Podcast Tour, so that you in the community get a chance to see what are some of the different podcasts that are available to you. There are no excuses. You can definitely get the help you need, even just by tuning into CTR Media Network with one of these different podcast hosts. Okay. Let's see any comments that came in. Quite a few comments are coming in. I'm trying to merge all in. Okay. It says resilience and strength. Someone said, amen. That's the only way to do it, is to give it to God. Robert said, put in the Lord's hand and he will fix it for you. Rochelle says, wow, praise the Lord. Praise the Lord. Ms. Kim said, what did you say, Ms. Kim? I'm trying to get to you too. Not at all. Overcoming and deliverance. All right. And y'all right now, don't drop off yet, because I see some of the other ones coming in, which is good. And we're going to rotate everybody off as we talked about. So Dr. Connie Green, I want to know if there are any other comments you want to say before I let you go ahead and go on with your day. Is there a closing comment?
Yes, I want you to smile, forgive, and love, and live your best life. Go on out there now. You can do it.
Did y'all hear that? Say it one more time.
I want you to smile, forgive, and love, live your best life, and go on out there. Do it now.
There you have it. Y'all make sure y'all tune in to Dr. Connie Green. And Dr. Connie Green, on that note, I'm going to let you carry on with your day. And thank you for being here today. Listen, we're going to take a commercial break again, and we're going to go over to Dr. Liddy, the good lawyer and business coach. So when we come right back after this next commercial break, you're going to get to hear from Dr. Liddy, the good lawyer, not just any old lawyer, the good lawyer and the business coach, right after this commercial break. We'll be right back.
I have peace of mind with Silver Shield Security, which has been protecting my family and home, along with servicing the Carolinas for over a decade.
So with everybody being backstage too, where it's like, but it's all like trying
or run a business, they are here to protect you from unwanted intrusions and fires. Call now at 704-440-4688 or visit the website at www.silvershield-security.com. You can use my promo code #ToneX and get 1/2 off your installation price. Don't forget to ask about the new no money down options. Let Silver Shield Security help to give you peace of mind, just like me and my family, and keep your business safe.
You're on mute.
Liddy. Let me make sure you unmuted back there. All you have to do is hit that unmute button and you'll be ready to start talking. Uh-oh. Dr. Liddy, like, wait a minute. Well, guess what? We are going to go right on to you, Miss Constance Willard. How about that, since you're already on the screen and I am seeing that you're ready to go. You were born ready with those glasses. So let's go ahead and pull you in. How are you today?
I am wonderful, and good morning to everyone. I'm just happy to be here. I thank you for this opportunity, Kim Jacobs, and I thank Tina Ramsey and the CTR Media Network for all that you're doing to inspire and encourage me as I inspire and encourage others.
Oh, and you know what? I don't even know what your age is or anything. Don't even need to know it publicly. But what I do want people to know is that no matter what our age is, there are no excuses. God still has a purpose for each of our lives. Can you just speak to that for one quick second as well? Because I want to hear your thoughts on it.
Yes, I can. Because 2 years ago, I had no thoughts of doing what I'm doing. And when I began to do all this, one of my cousins said, you need to slow down and focus on retiring. Why are you doing all this? I said, because I still have relevance. And I still have something that needs to be heard. I have things to say. I have wisdom to spread, because let me tell you something. There's nothing like old school knowledge and wisdom that is few and far between in these days. And so I'm here to spread it, and I'm going to spread it.
Well, you're not only here to spread it, you actually are one of the top 10 women to watch in 2022 by Courageous Women magazine. You're a leadership expert. You've had a lot of different hats, 9-time best-selling author and nursing leader, leveraging over 30 years of leadership experience. So you're not just here holding a space on earth. You actually have some stuff that you bring into the universe, right? To the world.
Oh, yes. And, you know, as long as the blood is still running warm, it's never too late.
Well, tell us about your program.
Okay, so my podcast, the Speakeasy Podcast, and the main goal is to educate the public on finances, spirituality, relationships, mental health awareness, self-care, whatever is out there that the public needs to know. My goal is to put it out there and to educate and to inspire. And so that's the whole premise behind the Speakeasy Podcast.
And how do you spell speak easy?
It's SPEAK and then EAZ, not S.
That's what I thought. The Speakeasy Podcast.
Speak easy. That's
so
right.
Do you have guests that come on? Are you doing more training or teaching? How does it work?
I have guests. I have panelists on that, you know, that come on and talk about different topics. This month, October, as we all know, is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And I have men and women coming on talking about breast cancer, because guess what? Breast cancer affects men too.
That's
and
right.
Men tend to suffer in silence when it comes to issues. They keep it to themselves. And so the silent scream, as far as I am concerned, it's time to stop it and to end it. So I have some men coming on the podcast this month. Just different experts coming on talking about their survivor stories, their journey with breast cancer, the treatment, diagnosis, what was going on with them when they became diagnosed. I had a wellness specialist on yesterday talking about nutrition and self-care. So whatever the need is, that's the goal of the Speakeasy.
That is incredible. That is so incredible. You listen, everybody, make sure y'all tune in to the Speakeasy, where on CTR Media Network Podcast. This is one of our podcasters, and Dr. Tina Ramsey is the visionary behind this entire movement. So I want to put your information up for people to know how to stay connected with you on social media as well. Let them know how they can stay connected with you.
Yes.
You can stay connected with her at Constance Willard, and also on IG as Anointed Educator. So that's how you can stay connected over there with Constance Willard. Now, I do want to ask you one more question.
Sure.
Okay. So when you were thinking about doing a Speakeasy for a podcast, that's a very unique theory. So what made that be the theory that God put in your spirit?
Well, what happened is I started a clubhouse room about 8 months ago.
Okay.
And getting a lot of traction from it. It comes on Monday nights, sabotaging behaviors and how to overcome them. And that's one of my biggest passions because I suffered with childhood obesity and with obesity for 47 years of my life. And so as a result of that, I began to engage in sabotaging behaviors, the self-doubt, the lack of confidence, you name it. Because of my weight, I struggled with that. And so when I overcame and I lost my weight, and then I thought about it, I said, you know what? You need to go back and start talking about those sabotaging behaviors. And so when I started the clubhouse room and I was getting a lot of response, I'm like, you know what? You need to do a podcast. But I do not talk about the sabotaging behaviors as of yet because people feel comfortable when they're hidden to talk freely. I'm not sure if they'll be willing to come on live and talk about things that they're engaging or flaws. You know, we all have flaws, but a lot of us are embarrassed by them and afraid to talk about them. But I keep the clubhouse room going for that reason. And so when I was coming up with the name, I wanted a platform where people could speak freely. New Orleans is one of my favorite cities, the Big Easy. So I came up with the Speakeasy, but I changed the S to a Z.
All
because
right.
I want my guests to come on and speak freely, speak candidly, because people need to hear the truth.
That's so good. That's so
and, you
good.
know, that's something that you don't get, not even in church. Hello, I'm not knocking any ministers out there, but you don't get the truth. And people need to hear the truth.
Well,
and
they're going to hear the
I
truth.
came up with it.
They're going to get to hear the truth right on the Speakeasy. And you're going to hear that with Constance Willard. And I see Vanita said, this is a strong woman. I am loving this. And then I also see Boss Online said, you know what? We seniors are not dead yet. So don't act dead. We are alive with plenty of wisdom. And that's what some of the comments are. I see some more comments and we'll just pop them up throughout the rest of the broadcast. But Marlene said, wow, won't he do it? Amen. Somebody said, amen, amen. Listen, Constance, we're so glad that you made a stop by here at the Kim Jacobs Show on the CTR Media Network Podcasters Tour. Can you tell one closing comment? And we're going to go ahead and let you take off for the rest of your day.
The main thing I want to leave with the listening audience, do not allow yourself to fall prey to the invalid validation of others.
Wow.
Trust in God. God made you unique with your flaws and your strengths for a reason. Wow. And it takes diversity and it takes variety to make this world go around. If he would have created all of us the same, this would be a dull world. Wow. Diversity exists for a reason. So never doubt yourself.
All right.
Know that you are bad.
Bad to the bone and come speak easy.
That's right.
On Constance program.
Fierce, fabulous. Go for it.
All right. Thank you so much, Constance, for being here today. I appreciate you. I'm going to pull Dr. Liddy back up here. And I see that you were right backstage anyway. So I'm going to pop you up here. Where is Dr. Liddy? Did I see you, Dr.? Yeah, there you go. Dr. Liddy, I hope that you're ready to tell us about being a good lawyer, because we want to hear about that, and also being a wonderful business coach. So let's get a chance to hear from you.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. This has been so fabulously amazing. And my gift, if you will, is that we are all spiritual creatures having a human experience, but the law comes in and tells us all the things that the ladies have talked about, that they poured their heart out and shared with us. We oftentimes don't see the law in that. We oftentimes think that law is negative. And if you think about it, God is what? He talks about laws. his laws, following his laws. And in doing that, we become more powerful, more inspired, more infused. And that's what I want our community to understand. That law is a powerful tool for us to trigger, because all law comes from God. All law is good. But what happens is, in the application sometimes, because people have been hurt, because people don't know how to do certain things, they default to the negative side of the law. But I want to remind us that we, look at us here. Look at us here. We're talking about the beauty of God in our lives. That is the law of God in our lives. And man's law is something that we have to learn. So my podcast is called The Secret Legal Codes. And the reason it's called The Secret Legal Codes Revealed is because we don't know this. What I've shared with you comes from my father. My father was an Episcopalian priest and a business lawyer. So I grew up watching him serve the community. I grew up watching him teach on Sundays and going to war in the courts on behalf of small businesses and individuals. And that's the duality of God. And we often think that God isn't listening. Well, why isn't it happening in our lives for us? Part of that is that he's waiting for us to recognize our power. He's waiting for us to recognize, you are mine. What are you doing or not doing oftentimes in terms of taking your royal place? And a lot of that comes from what the ladies have shared. Our young histories have been so violent sometimes that we internalize that violence and we don't realize how powerful we truly are. We don't know how to show up powerfully anymore. We've been abused so much. And the truth of it is, it happened. That cannot change. What we have to do in terms of restoring ourselves is that happened over there. And the God within us requires us to step up, acknowledge that, and move forward with our gifts. And each of us have wonderful, wonderful, unique gifts. And whether it's singing, writing, poetry, dancing, raising beautiful children, having wonderful businesses, and we don't see that oftentimes as good enough. Well, let me change that for you, hopefully. We are here because it is God's will for us to accomplish something, not just for ourselves, but to be the example for others. And that's how I live my life in terms of being the good lawyer. I will not allow others to hurt people that are within my vicinity, because we are all related in the spiritual realm. And if my power is to protect, that is what I will do. Someone else's power may be different, but recognizing the beauty of our divine connection, and all of that is based on the law of God's universe, and never, ever forgetting that we are as powerful as God has made us to be. We really are powerful beings. So for me, I connect spirituality with business law. So for me, everything is spiritually imbued, from our logos to our podcasting, to our guests, to our books. And if we see that connection, there's no stopping us. We become unstoppable because we're infused with a glorious power that we call our God. So that is what I do in my law practice, in my business practice, and in my spiritual practice.
Excellent. Excellent. And now, how can people stay connected with you?
I love the little link tree, and thank you for popping it up. Most people don't realize link tree, but it's there. You can have a free version and connect so much of what you do to Linktree. So I think it's perfect, the absolute perfect way to connect.
Absolutely. So you all make sure you screenshot how you can stay connected right with Linktree with /Dr. Liddy. And she's also spoken with TED Talk in London. She's a former Wall Street advisor, financial regulator, has been on international committees on accountability, you name it. This woman knows what she's talking about. She's a good lawyer, and she's also a good business creator. And she's willing to help you. If you tune into her podcast, You're going to get to learn a lot more about her. She's been featured on the New York Times, USA Today, New York Law Journal, Entrepreneur, NBC, CBS, ABC, Fox. I mean, this is not no average situations, y'all, that you're experiencing here on CTR Media Network podcast tour. Now, you know how you get out of break, like, tour, okay? There's some good stuff happening. So, Dr. Tina Ramsey, I thank you for even finding people like Dr. Liddy that's here on the podcast. Thank you for being here today. Any closing comment? I'm going to go to the next person right after your closing comment.
We are brilliantly and powerfully made. Never forget that, and rise up and do what God wants you to accomplish.
All right. There, you heard it, guys, right from Dr. Liddy. And we are going to keep it moving. Wait, before I don't go, because it might be some comments for you. And I like to pop some of these comments. Wow. Amen, Dr. Liddy. Speak that confidence. That's right. Teach the beauty of God. It's all kind of comments. So y'all can go back and look at all of these comments some more. Ain't no stopping God. Amen. I see all of your comments. She is amazing. Good afternoon. So y'all should be staying connected with her right on her podcast. Okay. That's why they're here today on the Kim Jacobs Show. Now we may go a few minutes longer today because we got a large group of people here, but you don't want to miss a moment of the Kim Jacobs Show and what's happening here today. When we come back after this commercial break, before we go to commercial break, Dr. Tina Ramsey, please take a moment. I know we had you say something at the very beginning, but this is your baby. So we need to hear from you throughout the broadcast, okay? So I'm going to put you over here and please say something, just anything. Let God bless you, bless us through you.
Literally, like I said, I'm the messenger, the visionary, the founder and CEO behind this, but really, it's God that helped me do this, right? I'd much rather be in the background, but for certain occasions such as this, I have to come out and show my face so you guys can see. But really, it's all for me. It's all about all the podcasters. Okay. Yes, I am an executive producer of multiple TV shows and podcasts. Yes, I have my own show, the Tina Ramsey Show and Podcast. But my mission is all of them. Okay. What my team is doing behind the scenes is to make sure that people connect with our podcasting hosts, their guests, and get the information that they need. This is the time. The earth is shaking right now in a positive way to have action, people. And I'm not having the information, the resources. All these people are here for a reason, to give you the resources, to be the answer to the prayer that you've been praying on your knees, crying and saying, I need help. This is CTR Media Network Podcasters. We are a community that stands on community, education, opportunities. Because without the education, you can't go into that next step, okay? And so we have the good lawyer, Dr. Liddy, because in our minds, we look at lawyers as being negative. But here, look at what God presented. It's lawyers out there who really want to do good and fighting for you, okay? Yes. And then you also have doctors that's dealing with your health and wellness, teaching you how to do things. We have a collective of so many different people, from entrepreneurs to coaches to authors to lawyers to homeschoolers to TV producers. And then we have celebrities that come on these shows too. So we have nonprofits. We have everything here for you. This was not created just for it to just lay out in the world. This was created to move you guys to action. No longer will you have to sit down and watch other people win. No longer. It's your moment. And this is your opportunity. Seize it.
See what we needed to hear from you, Dr. Tina Ramsey, the visionary behind CTR Media Network. And this is her podcasters tour. So these are just a few of the podcasters that you're getting exposed to. And so we're going to get a chance to hear from Dr. Mary Zenit next. And so glad to have you here with us, Dr. Mary. And again, thank you, Dr. Liddy. I'm going to put you backstage and bring someone else back on. And let's pull up someone like Dr. Vanessa Dunn Enos Guyton, right? Vanessa Dunn Guyton, that's going to be with us as well. And I think this is going pretty smoothly as I can do it. But God gave me a lot of gifts and talents. I didn't know I could be like, I'm doing it. Okay. So Dr. Mary, right after this commercial break, we're going to get a chance to hear from you. But everyone that's watching, go to ctrmedianetwork.com. Stay connected with CTR Media Network CTRmedia.com. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Dr. Tina Ramsey is the visionary behind it. And I want you to know that that's why they're making just a pit stop today here on the Kim Jacobs Show. And it's a beautiful blessing that these queens have blessed us with already today. So let me, oh, you know what I did also want to do is put up the QR code for Dr. Liddy. She had shared a QR code. And so that's her QR code. If you all want to scan that, it'll take you directly to all of her information as well, which I love that. So I wanted to pop that up. All right. So I see, Vanessa. Okay, I'm gonna go to Geo Monroe show. Come on up too. Pull you up on the stage. So just so you can wave, we're gonna take a quick commercial break, learn more about CTR Media Network, and we'll be right back.
CTR Media Network was created for today's podcasters. We provide a safe haven for content creators that are everyday people doing extraordinary things. We have a system of positioning, monetization training, coaching, and support for our podcasters' success. CTR Media Network simply bridges that gap with a level playing field for your dreams to come true cost effectively. Our team provides a premium service and experience for our podcasters to grow. CTR Media Network provides access, support, resources, coaching, and community for our podcasters to win, if you put in the work. We believe that we are living in a unique time which requires you to share your message of hope with millions of people around the world. Remember that the world is never too saturated for you, your voice and message. A platform for positive, impactful media where the content creators are in the driver's seat. Visit our website today by going to www.ctrmedianetwork.com.
All right, everyone, and we are back, and I want to make sure that we get a chance to hear. You have to unmute your own self over there. But Dr. Mary Zenit, talk to us, if you will, about your program.
Thank you so much. I want to thank you all for being here. And Dr. Tina, she is so inspiring. It is an absolute privilege to be a part of CTR Media Network. So a little bit about me. I've been a psychiatrist for 35 years. But I also have an executive MBA in healthcare with an emphasis on public health.
Yes.
And that's my heart. My heart is the globe is hurting right now. There's so much pain and suffering, but there are little things we can do to raise our vibrational level. We live in a world where we've got toxins bombarding us, okay? They're hidden in our food, in the air, in the water. How about on the airwaves, all that negativity, okay? And we need to rise up. So on the show, you will learn lifestyle tips and strategies that will help you make that shift so that you are not a victim, you are victorious. And your health, physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, it all works together. So when I met Dr. Tina, I said, this has been on my heart for a very long time. But when I met Dr. Tina, because I do have a show, I said, I have to be part of this network. And I'm so privileged that she invited me, she welcomed me to be part of it, to inform, empower our listeners.
Wow. And now I know that I saw here on your bio too, that you deal a lot with global health, and that is very important to you as well as.
It is. We're all in our own little world, right? Is that not true? However, as we raise our vibrational level, right? We're eating healthy, we get the toxins out of our lives, we're vibrating at a higher level, and we can have more empathy. The heart is the highest vibrational organ in the body.
Okay.
So we're able to think about, now we might have a day with you. We don't have a lot of financial ability to donate. However, your thoughts, your heart, thinking about your neighbor across the globe is so important. So yeah, on the show, we will be spotlighting different initiatives around the world too that are very inspiring and that will inspire us to learn about them and do more. Each of us can level up.
That's good. That's good. And you feel like that will make the world just an overall better place. And I do want to find out, how did you become passionate about this? So we're going to go to our next person shortly, but I do want to hear, it takes a special interest to even have the interest in knowing about your vibrations of your heart and compassion and global health. Why? Why was that the case for you?
Well, I will tell you, when I was very young, my mom was very sick. She struggled with health issues her entire life. So, I mean, as a 3-year-old, I remember, being there to help my mom, get her a glass of water and just be there. And what happened, okay, she was given a diagnosis of 6 months to live. And we were just absolutely devastated. She's a very kind person and she really cared about the world. But guess what? Power of prayer and her mind. She says, I'm not ready to die. 6 months? What? And she was 83 pounds. She was so weak. But she made it 26 more years with good quality of life.
Oh my gosh. So this is, no, you know what? This is so important as you all are doing this media tour stop to hear some of these backstories, because now I see why it's so important for you to know that the heart can keep on and keep on if certain things are happening. I love it. Thank you, Dr. Mary Zennett. Now, tell people how they can stay connected with you. I see you put your YouTube channels.
YouTube and Facebook, Mary Zennett. It's real simple. And LinkedIn. Those are the best ways to reach me.
So on YouTube, LinkedIn, I'll add that as well. YouTube, LinkedIn, or Facebook, you can find Dr. Mary Zennett. But of course, you don't have to go to any of these places that I'm naming, because you can just go right to ctrmedianetwork.com and you're going to see her broadcast there. And the name of your show is called what?
It's Dr. Mary Zennett.
Okay, that's what I thought. Okay. All right. So listen, everybody, make sure you check out Dr. Mary Zennett's show. And we are going to go next to Gio Monroe show. We're going to keep this moving right along because they're just taking a moment out of their day to stop by here. We're doing a special episode of the Kim Jacobs Show today. So get your mind right. We have a few more hosts that are back there, and we're going to give everybody a fair amount of time. And every once in a while here on the Kim Jacobs Show, we're bringing balance to the world, one household at a time. The way we're doing that today is by exposing you to some of these different episodes that will help change your whole family, your lives, your mindset, your heart, your wealth, your legal stuff, you name it. It's happening right here on the Kim Jacobs Show by introducing you to the CTR Media podcasters. All right. So Gio Monroe, how are you today?
I'm good. And thank you so much, Kim, for having me.
Well, it's a great pleasure to have you. Oh, you know what? Before I go on to you, Gio Monroe, I'm over here being a chameleon, working everything over here. But let me go to some of the comments that may have come in with Dr. Mary. I didn't go to your comments here. There is nothing, Vanita said, like the power of prayer, Mary. That's a comment that came in. And I see people saying share the broadcast. Yes, make sure you all take a moment and share this broadcast and have people go back and watch. Good morning, Sherelle says. She said, good morning, everyone. Oh, someone said, hey, I need to be a guest on all of these podcasts. This is some awesome sauce. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And here you go. Here you go again, Dr. Mary Zennett. Here you go. They're clapping and just giving kudos. So we see all of your comments that's pouring in. Okay. Gio Monroe show. How are you today?
I'm good. Thank you, Kim.
Oh, good. I'm so glad to have you here. Tell us about the Gio Monroe show.
All righty now. First of all, I want to say how I came to CTR Media Network, and that was through Dr. Tina J. Ramsey.
Okay.
She had a friend contact me to be on my show, and I'm like, Okay, I guess I can do this, because I'm just new at this. So when she came on the show, it was just so great, and God was in the room with the both of us. And she started after we did the interview, we stayed to talk, and she told me about this CTR Media Network, and I'm like, she ain't even have to sell me on it. I was like, let's go.
It's really that simple when it comes to Dr. Tina Ramsey. Once you hear her story, you're like, what? I gotta be a part of this. Go. Carry on.
So that leads me to say, I just wanted to say just a little bit about how I came to work for myself and why I wanted to. I come from a family of 8. There was a mother and a father in my household, but my dad, it was 3 brothers and 5 girls, but my dad always would tell the boys how to work for themselves because he had his own mechanic shop. That's what he did for a living, and he was the best in the neighborhood. And so he would tell them how to take care of a family and all of that. I used to hide behind the car. I was about maybe 8 or 9. And I said to myself, I'm not having no children and finding no man, because I believe that I need to work for myself and take care of me. And also what my friend Kim always says, who's in the chat now, a man is not a plan.
Oh, that's hilarious. A man is not a plan.
Right. So I proceeded on, but I lost my mother when I was 17, and that took me back, because grief is hard if you play grief. Okay. So I played grief because the grief was so much that it was just too much. This was a job for God. Okay. So I went on through life, but it was like everything that I started, I couldn't finish. But then God was always in my life. I just didn't know it. I just forgot about it. But he gave me a job at a treatment center where I was the administrative assistant, but I had to have a therapist, because if you work at a place like that, you have to have a therapist because it's just so much hurt and pain that come through there. I sat in that chair for 5 years, and that was one of the best decisions I can make for myself, is to tell everybody there's nothing wrong with going and get some help.
That's so good.
That changed my life. It gave me tools. It helped me have a mindset of I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Okay, so that leads me to getting my own business. Okay, it led me to saving $10,000, which back in the day, that's a lot of money.
You better believe it. And on top of that, I see that you actually was an affiliate marketer for over 15 years, owning your own website, City Penny Saver ad board. You are a YouTuber. So you were like a hey mom, wearing a lot of different hats.
Right.
Monetized 3 YouTube channels, had a business plan with at least 10 channels on YouTube, independent associate, you name it. I'm only rattling some of these things off because it is amazing how many different hats you've worn on your journey. So when people tune into the Gio Monroe Show, what can they expect?
They can expect motivation. They can expect for me to tell them how I made it, and how they can make it, that there's no job too hard for God. Don't give up 5 minutes before the miracle. They also will find on that channel my friends with super channels, because my friends is very important to me on YouTube. And they support all 3 of my channels that are monetized. So I give back by giving them a short bio on my channel called Friends with Super Channels. And then I take that and put it on my podcast. So that is how I give back to people. Also on the Gio Monroe Show, there will be a segment starting probably in the next 2 weeks, how to start a YouTube channel and how to get it monetized.
Wow, okay. That's gonna be good. That's gonna be good.
Right.
Okay, this is awesome. So, what's like a closing point you want to make for people, just as a takeaway of something that just kind of burns in your heart?
just don't give up 5 minutes before your miracle. Pray, pray, pray. Because when you're down in that tunnel, and I can only just tell y'all what my take on it and my story and how I got out of that tunnel. I remember my mom used to always say, when you in the tunnel and you don't know nothing else to do, you can't see no light, call on the name of Jesus. And that's what I did.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Call on the name
I made
of
it out, and I want women, and especially women, to know we don't have to stay in the tunnel. That there's another way to look at it.
Wow. Okay, y'all, Gio Monroe Show. Y'all should know anyway, anytime you have a podcaster's tour happening, you're going to have to stay on for a few more minutes because we all talk, all of us just talk. Okay, we talk a lot. We love communicating. That's why we sharing our life's gifts with you guys. Okay, so y'all just sit tight. We have some more podcasters that's going to be with us today. Twins on the bottom, someone said. Gio, I'm trying to put your comments up here. People are commenting. Twins at the bottom. Get the help that you need. Amen. Go get that help is what McKim said. Boss Life said, Boss Life hiding behind the car, getting her information. You're trying to learn something. Correct. Yes, I see all of your comments. And I really appreciate your studio audience participation. The show couldn't be the same without you all. So thank you. And thank you, Gio Monroe, for stopping by the Kim Jacobs Show today. I'm going to pull somebody else in. I see you, Marlene Sanders. I'm going to pull you upstage. And Alethea, I'm going to pull you in as well. Whew, this is a whole thing, huh? Us getting through all of the podcast tour people. Marlene, talk to us. How are you today? What do you have for us today? Tell us about your show.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for having me on, Kim. And I have to give my kudos and props to Dr. Tina because I came in the back door from Gio Monroe. So Gio found Dr. Tina, and Gio was like, "You got, come on, girl, come on." So she believes in me. She's not only a friend to me, a sister. She's so many things to me. So I appreciate Gio. But my story is about people shifting upward because I came from a very dark, low place in my life. And I just want to elevate somebody who thinks that you can't. And I get emotional about it sometimes because I had about 4 suicide attempts in my life. I came from a place where I was raised and talked to that I was nobody. But I want to let somebody out there know that you aren't. You are somebody. So now that I came out of that dark tunnel and now I'm in the light and I feel like I'm prospering. Now I want to be the voice to somebody else who's down, feeling low, and reach down and pull somebody else up. Because I think that's so important that once you find your light, you find your voice, now reach down and reach back and say, "Come on, it's okay. It's nice over here." Don't allow life and circumstances to take you out. We sometimes have to learn that we have to change our thinking. My whole thing about my whole life, I was angry and bitter at the whole world, but I didn't realize until I went through therapy that that was my choice. So I had to learn to shift that and to heal and to forgive people and to take my power back. Because I definitely believe it's a thing about taking your power back, that if you don't believe that you have the power to have anything you want in your life, shift your finances, shift a good relationship, shift good friends, travel the world, change all your circumstances, your weight, your health. And I made that decision that even though I didn't come from, that kind of setting where people believed in me and supported me and talked about having things and doing things and that you're somebody, I said, now I want to be a voice behind a person who may be voiceless, because back then I didn't have a voice. I didn't know how to say I was hurting. I didn't know how to say I'm in pain and I'm sad and nobody loves me. I want to be that voice and say, it's okay, come over here. And I will support you until now you can stand up and now you reach back and pull somebody else up. So
oh my goodness. Okay, so I'm gonna need y'all to come back, and Dr. Tina, please let everybody, with your permission, come back and do your full hour as just the guest on my show with just the two of us. All of you. This is just a
told you.
I need like a whole hour because I have so many questions. And I oh my gosh. I need each of you all. Please commit to doing that with me so I can hear your backstories. And you know what I'm going to do for 1 minute, because one of our podcasters that's on the tour, I'm coming right back to you, Marlene. She has some audio stuff and we want to get her in. So Dr. Vera Thomas, I hear you on the phone. I know you have some electrical stuff happening in your area, but we don't want to miss the opportunity with you being able to stop by as one of our podcast tour hosts today. So Dr. Tina Ramsey's on the screen, Alethea, Anna Brothers is back there, Marlene, and I see Dr. Vanessa Guyton is back there too. So they're still on. So everybody can hear you. Talk to us, Dr. Vera.
Well, but first of all, let me say these podcasters are awesome. And Dr. Tina Ramsey, thank you so much for including me in this group. It is just a wonderful thing. And I thank God for this opportunity. My show is the Vera Thomas Show. My focus is to uplift, encourage, inspire, motivate, and educate. I have guests that come on from all walks of life in all different professions, who share their life stories, who share their successes, who share how others can be uplifted, encouraged, motivated, experience, and just being able to encourage others to know that God is in control, and do not give up on your dreams. Do not give up on yourself. Do not give up on all the things that God has intended for you to do and for all that He wants you to be.
Awesome, Dr. Vera Thomas. And I know that you do a lot with the spoken word. So when people tune into your show, what are they going to walk away with?
They're going to walk away with knowledge, encouragement. They're going to walk away feeling, I can. They're going to walk away feeling that no matter what the circumstances, and I listened to Dr. Connie, and her story is just, oh my God. We never know how other people's situations can impact our lives. And sometimes we think our situation is so bad until we hear someone else's. It's like the saying, I can't even remember the saying. I'm going through so many changes right now. But what I want to say to all of you, to hold fast to your dreams, even if at times it seems it may not come true. Living your dreams will depend on you. The roads we take, the paths we choose are necessary to live our dreams through. There may be detours, winding roads, and wrong turns, all in which are lessons to be learned. As your journey unfolds, you'll realize your goals. What a beautiful story soon to be told. So hold fast to your dreams. And in order for your dreams to become a reality, you gotta take action. Things will happen. Persist and you will gain. Pursue your goals day by day. Your life will not be the same. Dream dreams without hesitation. Visualize them. See them every day. Feel the excitement, exaltation while you're on your way. God bless you all. And I again, am so honored to be a part of this group.
All right. That you're talking about you can't remember something. Girl, bye. You remember the whole thing like that? Listen, how can people stay connected with you? I put Dr. Vera Thomas show on the screen. Is there another way that you want me to put anything else right quick?
Well, I am on Instagram, and that's vera.thomas, Instilling Greatness. I have the Vera Thomas Show Facebook page. I am on YouTube, LinkedIn, and Twitter. So you can find me in any of those places. And please like, subscribe, and listen.
All right. All right. Well, thank you so much for stopping by on this CTR Media podcast tour stop on the Kim Jacobs Show. All right.
And thank you so much for having me. And you all have a wonderful, blessed day.
All right. Thank you. Bye-bye. All right. So we do that anyway on the show. You can call in. You can use the link. I didn't share the link today because it's not nay way. Let me put my glass. Not nay way I could actually pull in anybody else from the studio audience today. But I typically will give you the opportunity to come on into the studio and ask a direct question of the guest. Not today. Couldn't do that today. Okay. All right. So Marlene, I saw a lot of comments that came in, and I want to make sure that people know how to stay connected with you. People said, great. Wow, we made it. Yes, Marlene is all of that. Don't give up. She's a great motivator. Correct. Yahweh brought you and Boss Life Online and her through. Robert says, Marlene gives us energy, make it through each day. Sharing is caring. Please share this broadcast to help our host and the entirety of the podcasters. And God is using you, Marlene. So anyway, lots of comments. Let your emotions. I didn't get to go through all of them because it'll take me till 2:00 to get through all of this today. But come back for an hour of your own, and we're going to have more time together. How can people stay connected with you, Marlene?
Well, I have 4 YouTube channels. Marlene Motivates. The newest one that I just made for the CTR Media Network is Marlene Saunders show and podcast. And also my email and all my other information will be on there as well.
Excellent. Y'all make sure you stay connected with Marlene Saunders, who's here making her stop here on the Kim Jacobs Show, representing CTR Media Network podcast tour. What's your closing comment? And I'm going to put you backstage, and I'm going to be bringing Anna Brothers on, and I'm going to bring you on to Dr. Vanessa. And y'all going to be all closing us out here today on this special episode of the Kim Jacobs Show. Tell us your closing comment, Marlene.
Well, I just want to share that we can have real talk and real conversations, because I was raised that you stay silent and you hide things. So I want to bring exposure to things and that let everybody know, don't hide your pain and push it down, release it, let it out so that you can thrive, because it's very important to have real talk and real conversations so you can take your power back.
Wow. Thank you for being here today, Marlene, and have a wonderful day. Alethea, how are you today? And I want to go ahead and pull you up and give you a chance to have some words. Talk to us with the beautiful yellow. And I'm going to pull Anna and Dr. Vanessa in. Y'all are going to be our closing and pulling up the rear in a fantastic way. Alethea, talk to us about your program.
Oh my goodness. Thank you so much, Kim, for having me on. Let me tell you, this morning has been spectacular. I already knew that CTRB was awesome. Let me tell you, hearing from everybody, I am absolutely blown away. Dr. Tina, you know how I feel about you. I love you so much. And thank you for creating this platform for us so you can have so many different voices. But to tell you about me, I am Alicia Tucker, and my podcast is Leveling Up the Podcast with Alicia Tucker. And the motto is, there are levels to this, and we're going to hit all of them from the ground up. So what do I mean by that? My niche, women 45 plus, because I am one of them. I know the pain points, and we address those things in my show, in my podcast. So I frequently have women on who are doing great things in their prime. I always say it's prime time, we need to do to level up, whether it be professionally or personally. We talk about the things that, kind of plague us around this age, physical things, mental things, relationships. We're at an age now where we may be caring for elderly parents. We may be empty nesters finally, and getting to go after those dreams that we want, So we take a look at those things and we give our audience the tools that they need Now, I'm not saying that my guests are all 45 and older, because, younger people definitely have something to contribute. We've been there too. They can tell us how to stay young as we go up, right? So I tap into the experts to make sure that, as I call my audience, my risers, we're rising. So we can reinvent and rise.
That's right.
So we tackle all of those things. And above all, I want my women to know that they have a voice. And right where they are, they can do great things. Age has nothing to do with it. Absolutely nothing. They have been given an innate talent and a gift by God, and their voice is unique. Their imprint is unique. And it has to be put out there because we have an obligation to help another woman to rise, to help another woman to be all that she can be. We've been given a lot. We need to put that back out there and grow right where we are.
I love these podcasts. I'm just going to binge watch your shows, guys. I can tell y'all that right now. I am sold out to binge watch all of CTR Media Network podcasting, every single one of y'all. Listen, you are top 25 most inspiring women, one of them, and by Called to Inspire magazine. You're highly sought after international motivational speaker, and you train individuals to amplify their courage, confidence, and connection so that they can make that influential impact on the world. Now, when people tune in and hear this, they're going to be hearing this confident woman. You're very confident, right?
Yes.
Now, I don't know how to even ask this vague question, backstory question, and say, can you answer it in 2 or 3 minutes? I don't know. Okay. The point is that confidence came from somewhere. There was a turning point in your life. What was that turning point? And see, these are quite questions I'll ask you when you come back on the hour, for the whole hour. But what was that turning point in your life that made you say, that's it, I'm going to use the courage and the gifts and the talents God got for me and roll with it? Come on, tell me.
Oh my goodness. Miles Monroe is one of my favorite preachers, one of my favorite motivational speakers. And he says a lot about mediocrity. And he said that, mediocrity kind of accepts the norm and it pleases the crowd and does what it can to get by. But maximum living pushes the norm and really pleases God and sets the standard for excellence. And I was pushed into that about 5 years ago when my father passed away. He was such an inspiration for me. He was somebody who lived to serve and who taught me to do the same. You've been given a lot, Alicia. Now you need to go out and help somebody with that. When he passed away, it was my catalyst for doing more. I had done this bookmark for my 50th birthday, 50 things I've learned on my way to 50. People had encouraged me to turn that into lessons and make it a book. So I did that at that point and was able to make it something devotional that would help people. I tapped into helping women. So my catalyst was really the death of someone who was an absolute legend to me, who was helping me to rise up and bring out those things that he had already deposited in me.
Oh, please, when you come back to be my guest, give me a picture of your dad. Let me pop it up on the screen. I just want to hug. I'm hugging you guys virtually just because I'm so in love with everything I'm hearing. Thank you so much for being here, Alicia Tucker, and tell people how they can stay connected with you.
Absolutely. You can go to my website and it is Jolease, which is JOLEASE. Put enterprises behind that, all one word, JoleaseEnterprises.com. I'm also on social media, on Instagram at Alicia A. Tucker, just as my name is written up there. Just put an A in there. And also Jolease Enterprises. And of course, you can find me on Leveling Up the Podcast right here at CTR Media Network. Always looking for speakers and sponsors. Always looking for an opportunity to elevate somebody other than yourself. That's what we're trying to do.
I'm so excited about it. I was trying to type everything you were saying, which I think I captured it right. No, this is good. Leveling Up the Podcast with Alicia Tucker. Alicia A. Tucker on all social media. And then Jolease Enterprises.com is your website. And Jolease, everybody, is spelled JOLEASE enterprises.com for the podcast listeners, because there are some podcast listeners only. All right. Wow. Okay. So now we have two more dynamic podcast hosts, and we are going to hear from them right after this commercial break. Wow. I'm blown away. I'm loving this. Okay. We'll be right back.
Nothing says more than final expense insurance whole life protection. With funeral advocacy nationwide, saving you and your family 30 to 80% off funerals and cremations. Nothing says I love you more than Get Insured Solutions, LLC. GetInsured.Solutions. 704-499-36.
I'm attorney Charles Everidge. I started out representing insurance companies until my father was seriously injured at work. 4 of his fingers were amputated. Our family went through a lot, so I know what you're going through as an injured worker. If you've been hurt on the job, call me now. I'll fight to get the workers' comp benefits you may deserve. I'll fight for you like family. Put my experience to work for you. Call 704-457-5000, the first call for injured workers.
And we are back. We are talking with CTR Media Network podcasters, and just a few of them, y'all. This is under the visionary leadership of Dr. Tina Ramsey. Dr. Tina, before I go to our next two guests, do you have anything you want to say at this time?
I don't have anything to say because the podcasters are saying it all. Now you understand why this is different from any other platform. We're literally creating a movement. So I'm going to take it over because it's all about them. I'm just here. It's about them.
All right. So then here, Dr. Vanessa Guyton, talk to us and tell us about your beautiful podcast. Oh, hey, let me unmute you because we was playing that. No, you have to unmute yourself. There we go. You got it. Go. Let's go.
All right. So
you're beautiful with that smile, though. You were glowing. Go.
I am Dr. Vanessa Guyton, and I am the founder and executive director of an organization called Hush No More. We support survivors of domestic violence, child sexual abuse, sexual assault, incest, human trafficking, all those topics that organizations and families and friends have a hard time discussing. And out of that, we created Hush No More Champions, because I think it is important that individuals hear the stories of survivors when they're ready to get to that next level. And also from victim advocates and nonprofit organizations. There are some amazing resources and organizations in our communities all over this country that individuals do not know that exists. So my goal is to share stories, to share courage and empower through all of those experiences that we all have personally or know somebody that is going through it. And so that is what we do at Hush No More Champions. I believe there are victims, there are survivors, and champions are created once we start advocating for others who are going through some things that are similar that we've been through.
Wow. Hush No More Champions is the name of your podcast. Wow. And now you had an interesting sector of people that you had to deal with when you personally survived. And I know we don't have our full hour, but do you know how important it is for you to come back and be on the Kim Jacobs show for people to hear your story? Tell us a little bit about what you had to go through personally to make this your passion.
Yes, ma'am. So I am a survivor of military sexual trauma. I suppressed that memory for 17 years. And so when I had my trigger and everything came back, I realized part of it was that I never told anybody. I didn't think anybody would believe me. And I didn't think that I had the right to tell. So now I share my story because I want to encourage other people. And I wanted to create a platform for people to come forward when they're ready, because it's allowing us to take our power back. It's allowing individuals to say, this happened to me, but it's no longer controlling me. So how can I create that space? And that's what Hush No More Champions is all about.
Wow. And you're doing such a masterful job of keeping it sweet and short and all of that. But I want to talk a lot more, so I'll wait until our hour. If you had any word of advice for people that when we don't know, they'll tune into your show, they may not tune in right away, but there may be just some tip for people that are going through some type of trauma like yours, that you could give them some hope, something to hang on to through what they may be dealing with. Any thoughts?
Yes, so you don't have to struggle in life. You don't have to be unhappy. You don't have to be suicidal. You don't have to regret and have that shame and embarrassment of what happened to you. You can change it. You can shift. It is your right to tell your story, to open up, to say what you need to say about your own life, and it's your right to heal. And healing is important. And sharing your story is part of healing. And you don't have to do it on a large platform like a podcast. You can share your story with the next brother or sister to encourage them through what they've been through. You can go talk to the police. You can talk to a therapist. But sharing your story allows you to admit that it actually happened. And now we could do something about it. So be encouraged that you don't have to struggle in life and that there is a rainbow on the other side. It's a great book.
And there's a documentary on the other side that this woman has. There's a coloring book, a trauma releasing coloring book, a poetry book, When a Date Turns into Rape book, you name it. This woman her podcast, you want your daughters and your sons and people to tune in to what they can learn from Hush No More Champion. And I am excited about you being here today. And thank you for sharing your journey. How can people stay connected with you?
Our website is hushnomore.org. So if you need resources, have any questions, you can go to our website. You can also find us on Facebook at Hush No More Movement, Instagram at Hush No More Now. You can find us on YouTube as Hush No More Champions, and just follow us. You can follow me on my personal page as well. And we're always here. We're always willing to just give advice and support during anything that you may be going through.
And you said on all social media under Hush No More?
Yes.
Okay. I want to pop that up again. These are ways to stay connected with Dr. Vanessa. Hush No More on the podcast on CTR Media, the Hush No More Champion podcast on CTR Media Network, hushnomore.org, or on social media, Hush No More. Wow. Oh, okay. Y'all made. I'm gonna have to take a nap. Huh?
I hate to interrupt, but I don't know if she mentioned this, that it's not just a podcast. She is a nonprofit. And so in order for them to be able to keep these resources available to you at free of charge, it takes us coming together to give a volunteer donation of support so that she can keep all of this going, because it's not just her. She has a whole team, okay? But in order for her to keep providing all these resources for us, we need to support this. So it's a wonderful nonprofit. So all you business owners out there, corporate lenders, all of this, you're looking for a place to put your money at, this is a great place because it can help build our community, rebuild our communities, okay, and help our children.
Wow. Hushnomore.org is a nonprofit organization that needs your partnership. That's a big difference. And not just only hosting a show, but hosting the fact that she's undergirding a movement to help these individuals that are struggling with these levels of trauma. Hushnomore.org. Wow.
Do you see why we love Dr. Tina?
Yes, I see why I love Dr.
Always pour into us. Yeah, it's more than just a media network. It's really a family. So thank you, Dr. Tina.
No
wow.
Problem. They need to know now.
Thank you for last, Anna Brothers. But look at your background and everything, your bling blue and all of that. It was just meant to be that you were going to pull it all together at the end. And Alicia, and I know you're welcome to stay right on with us, but you're also free to carry on with your days, everybody. And Dr. Tina, you have to stay to the end, though, because I want you to have a final closing comment. But Anna Brothers, talk to us and tell us about your show, please. Let me see, Dr. Anna.
I'm muted.
You have to unmute yourself. Okay, there you go. You muted.
Okay.
It's all good. You go.
All right. First of all, I want to thank you for having me on your show. And I want to also thank Tina for pulling me in. And I apologize. Somehow or another, it's doing something outside and I had a surge and it went off. So I came in.
That's okay. That's okay.
But I am the Anna L. Brothers show and podcast. I'm a baby with the group. And I don't even think I've been in here 6 months. It might be a little little less or maybe a little more.
Well, welcome aboard. You can see what you're a part of, something super.
Yes, I'm really flattered. You just don't know.
But you're not. You're
honored
new
too.
to CTR Media Network. But let me be clear: she is not new to this thing called life. She's the CEO of the Sweet Lestines Dessert for All Occasions, and she teaches people how to bake like a pro. And since you're the last person here, I want to make sure I don't just let you go out being the newcomer on the show without putting some meat around the bones here. This you are the bling slinger. The name of her business is the Jazzy Jewels Collection. So this woman right here is a health coach and loves helping people with a healthy lifestyle and all natural products. So yes, she's new to CTR Media Network, but she's got a whole lot going on. Go ahead.
Okay. And I've been friends with Tina for years.
Okay.
For years. And you know, somehow or another they've taken me under my wing. But I've always had like a voice, and I appeared in a few challenges, and I became the caregiver of my mother, which I lost about 1.5 years ago. And during that time, I found out, well, you know, I was kind of lack knowledge myself of mental illnesses, you know, and I felt like most Black people are not aware of mental illness. They're aware of them, but they shun it. You know, they, you know, kick it under the thing. And
Right.
even as you're growing up, and I guess over history and over time, these things have happened. But I know that as a whole, Black people, instead of them going to a therapist, they will go to their minister for help as opposed to a therapist. So I've had some challenges in my life, and so I'm seeing a therapist. And one of the things that she asked me to do was to research mental illnesses.
Interesting.
And so I just finished up that series on mental illnesses. That's what I basically started out with. But I felt like I had a voice in this. A lot of opportunities happened for me. I was on NBC News. I spoke at the hospital about my journey with my mother. AARP, I've done quite a few things that have happened just out the clear blue sky where people have just come to me and, asked me that. So I felt like God was trying to tell me something, and that I had I needed to inform people because I didn't know. And doing my research, I'm going to be honest with you. What I found out is that all of us have mental illnesses. And that, because as I was doing it, I just didn't realize it was that many mental illnesses for real. But I found that if I did not have some of those characteristics, I knew someone that did have those characteristics.
Mm-hmm.
And that we need to help each other, and we need to better understand people. Now, my podcast is not basically on just mental health, but it's on the whole person. I just want to let you know. It's on self-care. And I want to be able to reach from the young to the old. I'm old. But I want, my degree was in early childhood. And so as I was teaching, I noticed also as far as the mental health, they don't give you the knowledge for that. Mm-hmm. And so someone has to do it. Now, I'm not a doctor, but I can research. And so that is basically how I got started in the podcast. And I will be having guests on soon. Right now, it's just informational because I got to get used to it.
But that's okay. You're going to get used to it quickly with Dr. Tina Ramsey as your leader. That's for sure. Okay. Yeah, you're going to get thrust in the fire. Well, I'm excited about everything that you're sharing, and you really focus heavily on bling and slinging bling and all of that stuff. What made you interested in that from a passion perspective?
Okay. I'm a crafty person.
Okay. I can hear all your bangles and everything over there. I know
I'm
you
a
got stuff
crafty
going on.
person, and I've always been crafty. I do a lot of things, and that is another thing that I want to be able to share.
Good.
I do needlepoint. I made this vest.
Get out of here! That's what I'm saying. Y'all are not. Oh my gosh! You can't say everything. It's like 50,000 people, right? We're trying to get everybody on the tour and have a few little words. Be like, "Hi, my name's Kim." That's it. Like, what? You made that vest? You made that vest? That is gorgeous.
Thank you. I want to be able to share some of my talents. I'm a certified cake instructor, and I taught cake decorating while I was teaching for 20-something years. So I want to be able to share those things with people as well.
Somebody said nice. Like nice for real. This is some good stuff. You got to come back on the show just to bring some of your pieces. During the holidays and stuff. You better get on here, girl.
That's what my next series is going to be on the fall and all the things that's happening in the fall. So I'm going to try to incorporate my cake decorating and just all of those things into the fall.
Awesome.
Of it, yeah.
So how can people stay connected with you, Anna L. Brothers?
Well, I am on all of the social media platforms, and most of them I am in there.
Oh, wait a minute! I typed over. I did a typo. Hold on.
I'm on with my name, so there won't be, a TikTok. All of them. I'm on all of them, and then I do have 3 YouTube channels. One of them, I do have my Sweet Listines is up and running, but the other 2 I'm working on.
Right, but the funny part is, Miss Anna, the funny part is I just had a cuss word up there, and I don't even be cussing, right? But I meant to say all, and I'm sitting here trying to do all this stuff, and I typed ASS.
And you know what? I didn't even see it. I didn't even pay it no mind. I just went on it.
My grandma would be like, "Now you think your butt look good? You gonna put that under my face on the social media?" She would be going off. So my grandma was a mistake. Listen, I am so glad, Anna Brothers, that you have joined the CTR Media Network team, and we're so honored. I'm sure on behalf of Dr. Tina Ramsey that you are on board.
Yeah, I love her. She's a good girl. She's good.
So, thank you for being here. Let's see. I saw comments coming in for you as well. I've seen comments coming in for all of y'all, so hopefully you'll go back and check them all out. Somebody said nice, just very nice. Your blazer is your shawl is so nice. Your vest. And so people said they love the name. I think that was when Hush No More was on, and they said this is so inspiring. Thank you, ladies, for sharing, all of you all. Powerful podcast, which was also for the Hush No More, very needed. And I didn't put those comments up earlier, so I want to acknowledge those as well. All right, listen, you guys, we have had a wonderful time here. Anna Brothers, you are welcome to carry on with your day if you like. And I'm going to close out this episode with you. Have a great one. And Tina, Dr. Tina Ramsey, woo, 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 you got your hands full with all of this wonderfulness. And no, that's not, I don't know if that's a word or not, but anyway. You guys, let me I can be back in my regular hosting mode for a moment. Okay. How you doing, Dr. Tina Ramsey?
Great. And I just want to tell you, thank you for maneuvering and juggling everything that's been going on today, because I appreciate you extending us grace, because there's so many of us. And the thing is, this is not all of us. This is just some of us. But I appreciate you taking the time, because I know you have an hour show and you exceeded your time bracket for us. And I'm totally just thankful for you today. So thank you for spotlighting our amazing podcasters.
It's wonderful. And again, I do want, and we're going to come back right after you hear about CTR Media Network one more time. We're going to have a closing comment from Dr. Tina Ramsey. And I want you to know how you can stay connected with CTR Media Network, and also become a part of the program. Reach out to them and let them know that the Kim Jacobs Show sent you their way. But let's learn more about them, and then we're going to get a closing comment from you, Dr. Tina, right after this.
CTR Media Network was created for today's podcasters. We provide a safe haven for content creators that are everyday people doing extraordinary things. We have a system of positioning, monetization training, coaching, and support for our podcasters' success. CTR Media Network simply bridges that gap with a level playing field for your dreams to come true cost effectively. Our team provides a premium service and experience for our podcasters to grow. CTR Media Network provides access, support, resources, coaching, and community for our podcasters to win, if you put in the work. We believe that we are living in a unique time which requires you to share your message of hope with millions of people around the world. Remember that the world is never too saturated for you, your voice and message. A platform for positive, impactful media where the content creators are in the driver's seat. Visit our website today by going to www.ctrmedianetwork.com.
All right, everyone. And so that's CTR Media Network. There's no reason for you not to get your story out and join the CTR Media Network team. I also am the host of the Kim Jacobs Show on CTR Media Network as well. And so we're bringing balance to the world, one household at a time. And so please make sure you check us out there. You can check us out on YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, and Instagram as well. So make sure that you know that the Kim Jacobs Show is also a part of CTR Media Network. Thanks to Dr. Tina Ramsey allowing us to be on the platform. What's your closing comment or thoughts, Dr. Tina? I know you're like a proud mama over there.
Yes. So I'm just proud of everyone. And I just want to I'll be remiss if I don't mention the ones who you don't see, because it's not just about any one podcast. It's about our entire community. Absolutely. And as you can see from today, you see why this is so different from any other platform that's out there in regards to podcasts. And you see why this is so needed in the time that we're living in. But I want to give a shout out to V. James. She is the host of Broadcasting with Boss Lady Star. We have Joy World, which is the producer and host of Hello World talk show that's on CTR. We have Sandy Saunders. She is the host of Book Talks with Sandy, Coffee Conversations. We have Sheree Moore, who is the CEO and podcast host of the She Trucking Podcast, which also has an ensemble of multiple different people, content creators that's helping women in the trucking industry. Yes, we do that too. Then we have the Homeschooling Interactive Magazine, the Melanated Homeschooling podcast, which both are homeschool based. One is from the melanated perspective and one is for the entire world, which is homeschooling. That is a community podcast, which means that different people come in and give information and host those particular podcasts. We also just launched Men's Thoughts Podcast. This is exclusively for our men, to help our young boys, to help young men walk into their manhood, to have the mentorship, to have all the things in place so that they can be encouraged and listen from other men, their perspective on life and finances and relationships. And it's all men coming together. And that's a community. So if you want to share, if you're a man, then give us a call. And then last but surely not least, we have Tiffany D Bell, which is the podcast host for the Nonprofit CEO. So she specializes in helping nonprofits to grow. And as you can see, all of our other podcasts, we have some more that's graduating from our class right now that are going to be coming over. And yes, thank you for popping it up. We have the Michael Finkley Show. Yes, the Michael Finkley Show. He is amazing. So make sure that you tune into that. And this is just the podcast that we have out right now. We have some that's in our class because we have our Learn How to Podcast and Start a Monetize It class that's going on. And once they graduate, then their podcast will be put on the network as well. So we have a lot of things that's coming, events, podcasting, sponsorship opportunities. We have so much where you can connect with us if you are a business, for commercial slots, be featured guests, go on a CTR Media Network tour around all these different podcast shows, which I heard you guys saying it. So you can get in contact with them, our hosts, and so much more. This is your moment. This is your time. Thank you, Kim, for being a part of the movement and bringing the Kim Jacobs Show. And thank you for onboarding and showing our podcast today, because this was indeed an undertaking, but God definitely helped you navigate it, honey.
All right. Listen, everybody. Thank you all for tuning in. Thank you, Dr. Tina Ramsey, for representing your organization of podcast hosts around the world. And please, one more time, tell people how the bandwidth, how far the reach is. I know I kind of said it in the beginning, but I really want people to know that too. And then we're going to close out.
Okay, well, thank you. Well, CTR Media Network is a new standard of podcasting and media. We have over 30 plus podcasters reaching 350 million global listeners worldwide in over 50 plus countries. We specialize in bringing you positive, impactful media design to help you walk into your best life, to help you start dreaming again, to know that there's hope. We can do this, okay? So we encourage you to not only connect with my show, The Tina Ramsey Show and Podcast, but most importantly, our community. As you can see, they're all absolutely amazing. And if you have a desire to start a podcast or have a podcast and you would like to be a part of it, just contact us and let us see what you have to offer. And we'll let you know if you're a right fit. Kim Jacobs, she's over there being humble. Let me see. Over here. She also has a program where she actually can teach you how to make your show look beautiful like hers. So if you want to start your own streaming show to get ready for CTR Media Network, if you want to take that thing to Roku and Amazon and all that, she get you ready, then you go ahead and get her class about how to learn how to stream and using this StreamYard and all these good things. And then if you want to solely do podcasting, then you come on over to me. All right. We have everything, basically what you need with CTR Media Network, whether it's independently through our company or through our podcasters who have their own businesses. So if we don't have it, I pretty much guarantee that our podcasters have something or they know somebody that have what you need. So TV show, Kim Jacobs, podcast, Dr. Tina, and everything else, CTR Media Network podcasters. Make sure to buy their books, book them on speaking engagement, sponsor them, sponsor CTR, sponsor our podcasters, because that's how we can keep this stuff going for all of you. We love what we do, and we're just happy for the opportunity.
All right. Well, there you have it, everybody. And you've heard from Dr. Tina Ramsey, from a lot of the podcast hosts, and hopefully the rest of them will come right on the Kim Jacobs Show too. We welcome every single one of them, even if they weren't here today. You all have a beautiful rest of your day. Dr. Tina, stay backstage for a second, and I will see you all right here on the Kim Jacobs Show at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time, Monday through Friday. Take care, and don't forget, pour into the broadcast, invest so that we can continue this level of programming. Have a great one. Hello, everyone. I'm Kim Jacobs, host of the Kim Jacobs Show, where we're bringing balance to the world, one household at a time. Listen, we go live every weekday, Monday through Friday at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I bring guests on that talk about their backstories, things that they've had to overcome to become who they are today. Many of them are balancing and juggling life, and they've become experts in different fields. So they're sharing tips with you to make your life just a little bit easier. Many times as a guest in the studio audience, you'll get a chance to walk away with a missing piece of the puzzle that might be missing in your life. Let's go on this journey together, and I look forward to seeing you Monday through Friday at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on the Kim Jacobs Show.